think. All right, I think this is right. And if not, 1 second. Hold on, y'all. Oh, let's see. I'm just trying to make sure that my microphone works. So forgive me, y'all. I'm like, I keep coming back because I'm trying to make sure my microphone works. And if not, it should. Let me see. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Rhonda? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, great. That's all I needed to know. Okay, perfect. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, because that was my main concern. I was like, I don't know if anybody can hear me. That's why I keep coming in and out. I keep coming back and forth because I'm like, oh God, I want people to hear me. So thank you so much. Okay, my goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna type in my introduction and then we'll get started. Okay, because that was really bothering me. Okay, hold on a second, y'all. I'll be with you in a minute. 1 second. All right, there we go. Because that was really that was okay. All right, now we are good to go. Because that was really bothering me. I was like, can you guys hear me? All right. Now, okay. Now we can officially get started. Okay. Hi everybody. It's me, it's Leo Brown. I'm back on here once again doing a live stream for y'all tonight. I hope you guys have an awesome Thursday. That's fine. And thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, please comment. And most of all, subscribe to the channel, honey. Let me know what you think of everything. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a psychic medium, I'm a life coach, and I'm also an author. And I'm here on here to give you readings today. So if you have any questions, put it in the chat. I'm so happy that you guys can hear me. We good to go now. Because that's why I kept coming in and out, because I was like, wait, can they hear me or not? So yeah. And let's see. I do use cards. As you can see, I have them right here, but I don't have to. So if you have any kind of burning question, I can definitely try to ask it. And I also have my mascot, Mr. Buddy Bear. This is Buddy the Bear. He's here to keep us company. So Buddy will be here watching over everything. He's kind of the guardian as we do this today. So, all right. So let's get started. So hi, Rhonda. Rhonda Giselle. I love your name. What a beautiful name. Um, Yeah, like what a gorgeous name. And let me switch this to live chat so that way I can see all the messages. There we go. All right. I'm also going to put in, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I'm going to put in my website as well. There we go. So that way, you guys, if you want a reading outside of this medium, you can log on to my website, which is psychicleo.com. And that's pretty much it. And just a little bit more about me. I don't consider myself to be 100% anything but human. I am not 100% accurate. I just try to be myself as best I can, honey. And I try to tell the truth as best I can. I am not here to blow smoke. So, my job is to tell you what you need to know and not what you want to hear. And as long as we are open and we are respectful and we are, what's the word? Honest, I'm good. Oh, okay, yes. Schedule a reading, Rhonda. That would be wonderful. Okay. So you're about to get in the car. Where you going? You going to the grocery store? You going to the grocery store, Rhonda? If you are, pick me up some ice cream. No, pick me up some heavy cream so I can make my pumpkin ice cream. So I can make my pumpkin pie ice cream. Yeah. Pick me up some heavy cream. So if you're going to the store, help a brother or sister out. Pick up some heavy cream something for me. Because I need some to make my pumpkin ice cream. Speaking of that, I know you guys, I know it's, oh, that's nice. That's sweet. Aw, that's awesome. What kind of puppy do we have? Like what breed? Right? Okay, listen, I'm all about pumpkin. I'm a pumpkin fan. I love pumpkin pie. That reminds me, I need to light my pumpkin scented candle. I am such a white girl with pumpkin spice. Like I really am. Okay. So so yeah, and I usually try to make everything from scratch because I'm actually going to make pumpkin ice cream for Thanksgiving this year. I try to make something new every year. So this year I'm gonna make homemade ice cream. So I'm actually looking forward to that. And I like when I'm not doing readings for people, I'm usually baking or cooking or sleeping. Like I'm such a homebody. It's sad, but yeah. Um, so that's normally what I normally do. I normally cook and things like that. Cook and lounge around my house. Boring stuff. Typical boring stuff. Or I'm exercising. I'm usually like lifting weights or doing the treadmill or something. I'm trying to keep everything cute. I don't want to gain too much. Trying to keep it all cute, honey, so that way that way I can have nice posture as I get older and nab me a husband. And I'm kidding when I say that, but sort of. But but yeah, so but no, honey, if you have any questions on here, anybody has any questions, it's only been 8 minutes, so we're good. I'm gonna be here for a good hour. So you got plenty of time I may be here even longer than that. Because I really want to I want to get some butts in the seats. So I really want to make sure that you guys can come in and, have your questions answered as best you can. And by the way, there's some other YouTubers that I definitely would recommend. I would recommend Calvin Michaels. If you are a music buff, if you love music, if you love politics, if you love current events, Calvin Michaels is wonderful. He's a wonderful YouTuber. And I absolutely adore him. I adore his intellect. And then another person that's a great YouTuber is Melanie Crowns, Queen Lovely Lee. If you are a woman, and in particular a woman of color, and you really want inspiration, motivation, empowerment from a young woman's perspective, I definitely would recommend Melanie Crowns. It's a wonderful channel, and it's done by a woman by the name of Queen Lovely Lee. It's a great channel. She's awesome. And she actually did a video about I think it was 50 Cent and Fabulous the other day, which was really good. It was a really, and I'm not just saying this because she's my friend, like for real. She's a really good YouTuber. She's actually she's another one that's very intellectual. She's very intellectual and very, what's the word? Like she is definitely, and I always tell her this, that to me she's like the new age version of Iyanla Vanzant, because she very much is that cold water in your face kind of girl. And trust me, honey, she even checks me. Okay. And I absolutely adore her because of that. She's a no nonsense girl, and I would definitely recommend checking out her channel. Once again, it's Melody with Crowns. And then if you want current events, if you want music or musical history, check out Calvin Michaels. And then another channel that I recommend is Really BTV. Really BTV, she's kind of a gumbo. Like she's, to me, she's like a gumbo of different things. She talks about entertainment. She talks about uh, education. She talks like she's another one that, and she's really good too. And I love her. She's like my friend in my head. That's like my buddy that I know I can go have a car party with, and she'll be top to smack and asking who made the potato salad. So she's wonderful. I would definitely recommend those three channels along with mine. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, honey. It's free. You don't got to pay for nothing. I don't have no Patreons or things like that yet. Nothing of that nature just yet. But we'll see as the channel grows and it becomes bigger. We'll see what happens. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe to those channels along with mine. And as I said before, I'm a medium, I'm a psychic, and I'm a life coach. So, if you have questions, if you have any, what's the word I'm looking for? Any kind of burning questions, any kind of concerns about your life, put them in the comments. Let me know what's going on with you, honey, because we are here to help each other. We're here to help each other to grow and to learn and to do our thing. So I am ready to answer your questions if you're ready for me to, if you want it. Oh, nice. Her dog. Giselle has a mini golden doodle. Oh, that sounds adorable. Now, does he have a name? Because I would name him something like Snickerdoodle or Fluffernutter. That's just me. So, I'm just saying, if I had a dog. But, mm-hmm. Snickerdoodle, Fluffernutter. What's the word? What's another one I would name a dog? Fruit Punch. All these food references that I just ate. I swear. But yeah, and I'm also and stay tuned because after the live stream, I'm gonna do my psychic perspective. And for those of you who don't know, that's where I take celebrity readings and I give my perspective on what's going on in their life. I think last week I did Britney Spears. No, I did Britney Garner, and then the week before that I did Britney Spears. But this week, excuse me, this week we're gonna do Nicki Minaj. So that's gonna be interesting because I follow Nicki Minaj, but not really. So this will be interesting for me. And it's a challenge for me, and I do believe in challenging myself. And then I think next week I'm either gonna do Tabitha Brown or Lizzo. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know who I want to give a reading to, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what Spirit has to say. Um, but yeah, so but we're gonna be here for a minute, honey. So just bear with me. And I'm sorry I kept coming in and out. I just want to make sure that my audio was correct because I don't like having bad audio. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing Miss Tabitha Brown because I noticed that lately people on social media have really been giving her a lot of heat. And I kind of feel bad for her because I think that this is just my personal opinion, and this is my opinion. I think that she really does mean well, and I think she really wants people to be the best they can be. But I also think I think people see beneath, like people want her to come out of her character. And Tabitha Brown, to me, being the fact that she and I, we have the same last name, honey, we might be related. Tabitha Brown, to me, has she comes from that old school of I'm not going to come out of my character, and I think people really want her to. I do. I think people really want her to go there, and it's like she won't do that, and I think that's why people are giving her heat. Because I noticed that on social media, a lot of people don't like her, and I find it sad because I think she has good intention. But I also think that because of maybe her background or, you know, people don't see it for her, which I find kind of sad. Because I think deep down she really wants to help people. That's just my personal opinion. Um, but yeah, that's just me. But yeah, Tabitha Brown. I'm either gonna do Tabitha Brown or I'm gonna do Lizzo next. So this week we're doing Nicki Minaj, and I'm gonna do that after I do my live stream. I'm gonna do Nicki Minaj, and of course my car of the day video. You guys really like those, and I'm actually gonna do a video on ancestor worship too, because being the fact that it is Halloween season, it is harvest season. So in this time of year, you may notice that the veil is thinning, meaning that the link between spirit and the living, the veil's thinner. So now, you may notice that you think about relatives or certain things that they do, or you may smell certain things, or you may hear certain songs or things like that. So I want to do a video on ancestor veneration and why that's important and where to start, because a lot of us don't know where to start with that. We don't know what to do. So I want to kind of break it down and show, like, listen, honoring your ancestors is not taboo, and it's not hard, and it's not um it doesn't have to be scary, because I had to admit, when I first started wanting to know about ancestor veneration, I thought of it being scary. I thought of it being like, oh my God, stuff's gonna start moving. And you know what I mean? Like, I really did. I thought it was gonna be like a horror movie. But it's not like that at all. It's very gentle, it's subtle. Ancestors may come to you in dreams. They may what's the word I'm looking for? They may come through people. People may say something that your grandmother, or an uncle or someone that you love used to say. They may, they can come to you in animals. A cardinal bird is actually the sign of an ancestor. So it's like, I just want to kind of demystify a lot of that. I think that's really important. And I think especially for people of color, because you have a lot of that in African traditions, but you also have it in Mexican tradition too, because you have Day of the Dead, which is not, I repeat, not Mexican Halloween, but you have that as well. So I just really want to talk about that and why that's so important, and why I think we need to get back to that, because those are the shoulders that we stand on. If it weren't for the ancestors, we would not be here. You know what I mean? So whether good or bad, and even talking about that too, about how you might have an ancestor that you didn't like, or an ancestor that didn't like you, because that does happen. You may have an ancestor that's like, well, I don't like you, and I don't want to see you, and I want to see you broke, like me. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you deal with that? How do you get past that? Things like that. So that's why I want to talk about that. I want to talk about ancestor veneration and how important that is, because it is important, and especially during this time of year, uh, I think it's needed to be discussed. So that's one video I do plan to do. I plan to do a video about that very, very soon, and I may do a video about Halloween as well, like, because I noticed that Halloween in the Black community, we don't celebrate it enough. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Teddy. How are you? But we don't celebrate it enough. We don't honor it, and we look at it as a negative uh, holiday, and it really isn't. It's a beautiful holiday. It's a holiday of veneration. It's a holiday of introspection. It's a holiday of uh, revelry and fun and being a child. It's a holiday of mystery. So I think that's so important that we relish that, because I myself, I love Halloween. I'm a Halloween nut. And living out here in Texas, you don't really see a lot of people. Well, I shouldn't say that. You don't see it, at least in my neck of the woods. I don't see a lot of people celebrating Halloween. And I like, even though I've never been trick or treating, but I've always said that if I had children, I know me, I would be like, let's go, let's do this. So yeah, I love all that. I love the whole gamut of getting in costume and dressing up and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. So I definitely want to do a video about that, about the history, the customs, and why we had the pumpkins, and why we put pumpkins, we light candles in them, and we put the faces on them and all that kind of stuff. So I want to do that. I want to do a video about that. All right, but enough about me rambling. Oh, my most favorite costume? Ooh, that's a good question, Teddy. So my most favorite costume when I did Halloween, when I really used to celebrate it hardcore, I would say was probably, actually there's two, because one year I went as Queen Elizabeth, complete with the white face paint and the wig and everything. Um, and then, which I loved, even though it broke my skin out, but I loved that. I loved it. It was fun. Um, and then another one was I was Queen of the Mardi Gras. And that was great. That was wonderful. I love that costume because I did like a peacock eyeshadow, and yeah, those are my top two. Yeah, those are my top two favorites, I think, out of all the ones I did for Halloween. But I love Halloween. I love it. I do. And it's funny because this comes from a person who I didn't celebrate Halloween growing up because my mother was a very strict Christian. But child, by today, I'm the first one. And it's so interesting because there's children all up and down my neighborhood, right? But no Rugrats come to get candy. Not one person. And it makes me so upset because I'm like, I want the children to come. Because Halloween lore tells us that if you don't get trick or treaters and they don't come and get candy, it's actually bad luck. So I'm like, I don't want that. I want the children to come. Oh, and make sure you like the video. Like this video, honey. Give it a thumbs up. That lets the algorithm know that you like what I'm doing. You like, the stuff that I'm talking about. So thank you to all of you who are in the room. Please make sure to give it a like, give it a thumbs up for me. Thank you so much. Um, and I'm just rambling, y'all. Give me some questions, child. Give me some questions out here because I won't be out here rambling. Hi, sweetie. Hi, T Grooves. How are you, honey? Yes, T Grooves. Welcome to the Sugar Bear family. And I am Mama Sugar Bear, Leo Brown. This is our mascot. This is Mr. Buddy. Say hi to Buddy, everybody. This is Buddy. Buddy is our mascot. This was actually given to me by a follower of mine on Twitter. Speaking of that, if you are on any form of social media, you can follow me on various social media platforms. So, yay. So, this is me and Buddy. Yes, you did. You finally called me in a live, honey. And you are more than welcome to ask your questions. You can, or whatever you guys want to talk about. Because we don't have to necessarily do readings, but if you guys want to just talk, we can do that too. But mainly I came on here to give you guys readings today. So if you have some questions, let me know. Put them in the comments. So, and I'll be more than willing to to answer them. I'm so silly. But yes, how are you? How's everybody doing? I can't believe we are oh well listen, Teddy, that's my job. My job is to read people down. I listen, that's my job. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass. I'm here to tell you the truth. I'm here to be honest with you as best as you can allow me to do. And it's not always easy. I'll be the first one to tell you it really isn't. But I love what I do. I love my calling. I really don't consider it. I try not to consider it a job. I'll say that. But it's really because like I say this numerous times. This wasn't what I didn't ask to do this. But I love what I do and I don't regret it at all. So, and mind you, I may get a little irritated with what I do sometimes, but all in all, I love my job. I love my calling and what I'm meant to do. So that's my job is to read you down, honey. I'm not here to blow smoke. That ain't what I do. That's not why I do this. Okay. All right. So hold on for a minute, y'all. I'm gonna close these blinds. Hold on now. I gotta close the blinds because it's getting dark where I am. Hello, no duh, Jack. Hey. How you doing? How are you, honey? Yes, come on in, honey, and get those questions ready. Get those questions ready. If you have a question, put them in the comments. I will definitely try my best to give you the answers that you need. I will also give you um, my Cash App. I'm pinning it in the comments as well. So that way, if you want to give me a little love donation, you don't have to, but if you find it in your big old heart to do so, you can. All right. Hold on for just 1 second. There we go. And I'll pin that. There we go. All right. Now, and make sure you guys give this a like while you're here. So, I have we all ready to go, honey. So, hey. I'm so happy to see y'all. Thank you so much. I got to tell you, at first I didn't think anybody was going to this because I'm hardly on YouTube Live. I hardly ever do lives on YouTube. But I was like, you know what? I need to start putting myself out here more often and do more. So I figured I would. I just wanted to make sure that, um, you know, I come on here and help y'all out. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in and for liking. Okay, so no duh Jack. So if you're in the room, here we go. So the question that they have is, how is my relationship going to go in the future with my mentor, friend, and guider? Ooh, that's a really deep question. Okay, I'm gonna pull some cards on that. That's a deep question. All right, y'all. And make sure if you're in here, make sure you give this a like. That lets the algorithm know that you guys like me and that you like my videos and what I have to offer. So no the Jack. I'm about to answer your question. All right, here we go. Let's see. And they want to know how's the relationship going to go in the future with their mentor, friend, and guider. That's a very deep question. All right, I'm gonna stop here. Okay, because I'm telling you to stop. And I'm gonna say to you during the course of this, I'm gonna ask you, does that make sense? A lot. So just bear with me, okay? Okay. What I'm picking up just off the top, even without my cards giving me assistance, what I'm picking up is I feel like there's going to be progression, but it's going to be slow. Okay, in terms of your relationship, I feel like it's it's blossoming, it's blooming, um, and a lot of what I'm picking up for me is I hear the word mistrust. And it's not that you don't trust them, it's more so you don't trust yourself to make the right decisions. Because, and I think my card is confirming this because this is the card that I'm getting. I'm getting this card. So what this is telling me is that when it comes to not just money, but time, energy, excuse me, I'm sorry. Um, that, hold on a second, y'all. Let me cut my phone down. There we go. Money, time, energy, things like that. I feel you're like, I want to invest in this person and invest in this, but I don't want to do what I've done before because I've invested in people before and I've been used. So I feel like you're really at a point where you're like, I don't want to be used. I don't want to be taken for granted. Um, hmm. It's gonna work, but a lot of what the results of you doing this, you're gonna see it happen um, during the winter time, like during the winter beginning of the year. That's when a lot of this is going to take place. Okay. So I feel like your relationship is going to grow, but it's going to be slow. And a lot of this, are you guys in business with each other? Like, are you guys going in business? Because I'm seeing business or money. I don't know why I'm picking up money around me, like money, business, finances. Am I making sense? Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Um, were you guys you met at work? Okay, there we go. Because I'm seeing, okay, that explains it then. So you met at work. Okay. So what this is telling me is that, and you did an internship. Okay. So what this is telling me is that, um, everybody named mother wants to call me when I'm doing something. Um, so what this is telling me is that it's gonna grow, but it's gonna be slow. Okay, it's going to be slow. It will not be an overnight sensation. And you better be glad it's not because I feel like with this relationship, it's not bad, but there's a lot in terms of communication. There's a lot in terms of attachment that needs to be worked on. And mainly, I get it mainly with yourself because I feel like with you, honestly, sweetheart, you want to attach to someone, but at the same time, you're so afraid of getting burned that you push people away. You don't mean to, but you do. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I'm getting. Okay. So I would say just hold on, be careful, but don't be so careful that you end up blocking your own blessing, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, good. All right, honey. Thank you so much for your question. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, and I'm glad it makes sense. If you like what I'm doing, honey, if y'all want to give me a little love donation, my Cash App is pinned in the comments. So I would really appreciate that. You don't have to do it, but that would be very nice. Mama Sugar Bear would love that. Will you ever see them again? You will, but I keep getting the wintertime is when you'll see them again. That's when you'll see them. I keep picking up winter, winter, winter. So I'm seeing wintertime for me. And make sure you guys give this a like as well. Give this live stream a like. But you'll see them again. But I keep getting the wintertime is when you'll see them. I keep getting like January because I don't know where you live, but I'm seeing snow. So yeah, you'll see them again. Hmm. Now, let me say that. Let me preface this by saying that what I'm giving on here, there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees in life, honey, none at all. But I'm just giving what I'm being told to give her or to give them, because I don't know if this is a he or she, but to give them. Um, but yeah, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be. And here's the thing: stop worrying about things that you can't control, sweet pea. Because I'm seeing that you worry about stuff that don't have nothing to do with you. Stop worrying so much. All right, like girl, it ain't that deep. I'm just saying. I hope I'm making sense when I say that, but stop worrying so much. Thank you. You're welcome, baby. Thank you so much. All right. So if you guys have any questions, if you want a reading yourself, you want a sample reading, go ahead and your questions in the comments. And also, if you would like a reading outside of this, if you want a reading one on one with me, you can log on to my website, which is psychicleo.com. That's psychicleo.com. All right. So T Grooves wants to know, do I see any career changes or increased financial freedom? I love the way you asked that question. Um, yes and no. Yes, I do see changes coming, career changes coming. A lot of your career changes are going to come. I keep getting the new year for you, is what I feel like a lot of your career changes are going to happen. And then no, in the sense, because I feel like okay, you have all these goals and all these aspirations and all these dreams, right? Okay. And I'm gonna get on you a little bit. But I also feel like your drive and your ambition is like it's there, but it's not there, if that makes any sense. Okay. And I feel like on one hand, you're like, I want to do this, I want to do that. But then when it comes, it's like you're on the edge of a cliff and you know you need to jump. You know you need to take the leap and just do it. But you're so afraid of falling that you won't do it. So what I'm being told is yes, you definitely can have the financial freedom and the career change you want, but you need to take a risk and just do it. You really do. You have to stop second guessing. You have to stop thinking, oh my God, I can't do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And believe me, I go through that too. Listen, I am one of those people where I have the worst fear of succeeding that you would ever want to see. I really do. I'm one of those folks where I'm like, well, what if I do this and I become, a star overnight and I can't handle it? You know what I'm saying? Or I become well known, or because and trust me, ask people that know me outside of this, that know me outside of like YouTube and stuff. I'm the first one. Well, I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous. When really in reality is like, but you do. But you just don't want to embrace the idea of you being well known for what you do. And I think it's the same way with you. You definitely are going to have career changes. I feel like it's going to be, I keep getting the number two. So I want to say either within the next 2 months or by February of next year. Okay. But you got to take risks because I also pick up like your own business. I'm also picking up many different things. You got a lot of things that you want to do, but you just got to do it. So I hope T Grooves, I hope that makes sense to you. I really do. I hope it makes sense. Please let me know in the comments if it does. If it doesn't, that's fine. But let me know. So that's what I was getting for you. Excuse me. Excuse me so much. Yeah, but thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Dream Legacy, for joining us today. And you said you're the same way. You think you live in your head. Yes, you do. Like I feel like you got so much you want to do, and so little time to do it. That's really what it is. At least that's what I'm getting. I'm getting like I have so much to do, but just so little time. And but the thing of it is, you can do it. I just think it's not that you don't want to do it. I just think it's more so what I'm picking up is that you find reasons not to go to follow through. But it's like you got it. Just do the damn thing. Just do it. And I keep hearing something to do with you and your own business. And also for those of you that want to know, in terms of my abilities, I am clairvoyant, clairaudient, and I have empathy. So what that means is when I say I see something, that means I see it in like a form of a movie or like movie clips. And then if I hear something, that's like I may hear a song, I may hear a word, I may hear uh, a name. Um, let's see. And then in terms of empathy, that just means that I'll feel what you may be dealing with and what you may be going through. Okay. And I try my best to, like I said, I'm the vessel. And also, if there's someone from the other side that wants to come through, I will allow them to come through so that way they can tell me what you need to know as well. Because I am also a medium. So, that don't mean I got, listen, it don't mean I got the spirits on the main line all the time. All right, but I don't. Okay, so Dream Legacy wants to know anything or anyone great happening to me before the year's out. Hmm. Okay. Yes, because I'm picking up growth, but I'm picking it up December. And I don't know what it is you do. Um, I'm seeing something to do with like a camera or like behind the scenes. Like I don't know if you produce. I don't know what it is you do, Dream. But I'm seeing something to do with you in producing or being behind the camera. Like there's something where you're going to be in charge of it. But a lot of it's going to happen in like the middle, early mid December is what I'm picking up around you. Okay. And I'm seeing writing, I'm seeing a lot of creative things happen. And it's funny because when it happens, it's going to kind of hit you all at once. But but I also feel like you're ready for it because on one hand, I'm picking up that you're like lying in state and you're kind of like going like, okay, anytime, 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 universe, anytime. I get that. I'm picking up a lot of that. Like I feel like you're like, okay, I'm ready, but just tell me when to go and I'll go. Yeah, I am seeing that. I feel like for some odd reason, you're going to yeah, I keep getting the word, I keep seeing December. You're going to do something. I'll say this. To others it may not be big, but for you it will be. And it's really important. For me, it feels like almost like a film or something like that. It may not be that, but that's what it reminds me of. But I keep getting December, so yes, yeah. And I literally see you waiting, like you're waiting on your shot, and you're just gonna go for it. So yeah, and I keep getting the middle of December, and it will involve travel too, by the way. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know. Please let me know, but I hope it makes sense. And there's something else I want to tell you too. Focus on yourself, Dream. I mean, I think it's great that you have such a big heart, but focus on yourself. Focus on yourself because I feel like you focus on everybody else but you. You always put yourself last. And I feel like you want to take care, like, I literally hear you saying, I want to take care of my family, but it's like, sweetheart, you got to take care of you. Okay. Just saying. Um, so no, okay. So she has another question. Could my mentor friend guide her end up being a mother figure? Does my does my attachment um ooh, that's a great these are wonderful questions. Um, does my attachment it is. I'm a Leo too, but I get it. Let's see. Hey, hi Jandy. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Does my attachment they don't know about affect my blessings from the relationship? No, no, no. I don't think so. I don't pick that up at all. No. Mm-mm. I could be wrong in saying so, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to affect your relationship. And could the person end up being a mother figure? Not necessarily a mother figure, but more of a teacher. I get more of a teacher. I don't necessarily get a mother or a father figure. I get more of a teacher. That's what I mainly get. So, yeah. hmm let's see. All right, and yes, my girlfriend, my girl, I call her my oldest daughter. My oldest daughter, Jandy, is in the building. And if you guys don't know her, you need to. She is a fantastic singer. She is just awesome. She's a sweetheart. Love her to pieces. And she's a Capricorn. So Capricornial, like the late great Walter Mercado used to say. But she's awesome. And I know you called me earlier, so I'm gonna call you back when I get done. But I just wanted to do this first. But yeah, but no, I don't think so. To answer your question, Jack, no, I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna affect your relationship that much. No, not in a negative way. No. Um, but yeah, honey, like, listen. So we got about a good 30 more minutes. So if you guys want to send me a little love donation, my Cash App is pinned in the comments. If you want a reading outside of this, if you want a more one-on-one, because sometimes you may be watching, but you may not want to come on and actually ask a question because you may not want everybody knowing your business. But if you want, if that's the case and you want a reading outside of this, then you can log on to my website, which is psychicleo.com. That's psychicleo.com. And you can also follow me on various social media platforms as well. I'm not as active on them as I should be, but I try my best to be. What makes my mentor guider so slow with communication? That's a good question. Well, I pick up two things: life, and I pick up that they live in their head. They're always thinking. They're always thinking. They're always and I feel like they're always moving. They're not people that can sit down. That's the energy I get. So I feel like that's why they're so slow. And they're very last minute. They don't think about it until they're like, oh my God. Like they're the kind of people where they could be in the bed and they'll wake up out of a dead sleep and be like, oh my God, I was supposed to do, Yeah. So that's what makes them so slow. At least that's what I get around it. I don't get to do anything to you. And I think the one thing I would recommend that you don't do is don't take their nudge or their lack of communication so personally. I know it's hard not to, but try your best not to. Because it is difficult for you. Because I feel like you really do wear your heart on your sleeve. So just try your best not to take their lack of communication or their as a personal attack against you because it's not that. So hope that makes sense. Hold on, y'all. I'm multitasking here, so just bear with me. All right. Okay. So, but yeah, that would be my advice on that. Just bear with me, or bear with them. Excuse me. Yeah, but I don't think that they're doing it to spite you. I literally get somebody who they're all in their head. They're all up here. So, but yeah, but no. So what else y'all want to talk about, honey? What else y'all want to do? What else y'all want to know? Like, thank you for the likes. Thank you for coming in. It means a lot. We're gonna be here for about 30 more minutes because I really want to make sure I give you guys a good hour of my time. How does your guy feel about you, your mentor? Oh Lord. Let me pull some cards on that. 1 second. Oh, that's a good question. How do they know? How does one know if they're healers or if they're? That's a good question. I'm gonna ask that. That's a really good question. Okay, so let me get to know the Jack first. And stop. Okay, so you want to know how your mentor feels about it. If you can you give me their name, your mentor's first name, please? Can you give me their name? I just need their first name. That's all I need. I don't need their birth date or nothing like that. And actually, that's a big misconception because let me go into that for just a second. Oftentimes, when you go, like whenever you call a reader, people often think, "Oh, I need to give you my birthday?" No, unless you are an astrologer, unless you do astrology, which I don't. But if you do astrology, then yes, you'll need a birth date and birth times. But majority of the time, for at least for me, I can only speak for me. But majority of the time, you don't really need much. You only need like a name, or sometimes with certain readers, you might need a picture. It just depends. But for me, I just need a name. I don't need a birthday. Anything. And I'm glad you like it, T Groups. Thank you so much. Thank you. I do plan on doing this more often because, I mean, I have public, and I hate to say it like that, but you know what I mean. I have people that like what I do, so I feel I might as well do it. And while you're here, subscribe to the channel and become a sugar bear, honey. Make the channel grow. Let YouTube know that y'all like me out here. That y'all like to see me on here and see what I have to say. Okay, so Whitney, that's the name of your mentor, Miss Whitney. All right. How does Whitney feel? Hi, sweetie. Hi, Sassy Queen. All right. So, yeah. Okay. Okay. It's so interesting because what I'm seeing is that your mentor adores you, but your mentor often thinks that you don't like her. Which is why I think she's so hot and cold. On top of that as well, I kind of get around her that work wise right now, she's kind of going through some stuff, some changes within her job. And I feel like it's not the job itself, but more so the environment, which is why maybe she's not as communicative as she could be. Um, yeah, she's under a lot of stress. And what I'm getting around her is that in terms of how she feels about you, she likes you a lot. She just doesn't know how to express herself. She's gotten used to, at least from what I'm seeing, everything with Whitney has. Whitney is the kind of person where nothing ever comes easy, or at least that's the way she feels. What I hear in my head is, all my life I had to fight. I hear that. So what I'm getting is that in her head, if there's not a battle or there's not a confrontation, it ain't worth doing. You know what I'm saying? That's where she's at. So I think that's why maybe she does not communicate in a way that's always healthy. But from what I'm picking up around her and yourself, she likes you. She just doesn't know how to. She doesn't know how to express herself in a healthy way. If that makes any sense at all. Does that make sense to you? Because I feel like she doesn't know what to say. But in terms of how she feels about you, she adores you. She often thinks that you. She doesn't. She often questions if you like her, and if she's doing the right thing. She questions her actions a lot, like if she's being the right mentor. That kind of thing. Yeah. So, hi, Fancy Queen. Yes. And by the way, if you guys are looking for some other channels to go to aside from mine, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, honey. Um, but if you're looking for other channels, I definitely would recommend Calvin Michaels. If you love current events, if you love politics, if you love musical history, because he does great research. He really does. And he's hilariously funny. I recommend Calvin Michaels as a great channel. If you're wanting empowerment from a female point of view, from a woman of color point of view, as a black woman, I recommend Melanie Crowns. And if you're wanting kind of a mix of things, um, if you're wanting a mix of things, I would recommend Really Be TV. Yes, I absolutely. If there's one person from YouTube that I can sit down and have that I would love to sit down. Oh yeah, I don't know he's a Leo too. I would if there was one person I would love to sit down and just have a conversation with, it would be him. I absolutely adore Calvin because he's funny, he's witty. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, he's easy on the eyes, honey. He loves working with kids. Like I just and I love his intellect. His intellect is just his intellect is wonderful. So he's absolutely, excuse me, he's absolutely adorable, and he cuts up on Twitter. I absolutely adore him. And then, like I said, if you want a different point of view from a woman's point of view, from a female point of view, from a more divine feminine point of view, I recommend Melanated Crowns. She's awesome. She is absolutely wonderful. Queen Lovely Lee is her name, and she's great. And I also recommend Really BTV. Why does your mentor question if you like her? Because that's just who she is. She just lives on her head, baby. It don't have nothing to do with you. That's because of what she's been through. That's not you. That's more so what she's been through in her relationships. So don't take that personally at all. So Jandari wants to know, how does one know if they are healers, clairvoyant, etc.? That's a loaded question, but let's see. How do you know? I think 9 times out of 10, you don't. 9 times out of 10, you don't know. Uh, at least, at least for me, from my story, I didn't know that what I was or what I am is that until someone told me. But I would say, I think you know because one, you just feel odd. You feel like you stand out. You know what I mean? From the crowd. You know things that people don't know. Um, I know that for me, I didn't know I was clairvoyant until my best friend at the time told me I was. I just thought I was just guessing because I remember once he came to me about a relationship issue, and I was like, I give it 3 months, and 3 months on the dot, their relationship broke up. And he was like, "You got a gift," and I didn't know that's what you know what I mean. So oftentimes you don't really know um, until a teacher comes along, or say you read, like you read up on clairvoyance, or you read up on channeling, or you read on um, tarot. Then you're like, oh, well, that explains why I always feel so deeply. That's my empathy, or that explains why I pick up on people's thoughts. That's telepathy, or that explains why uh, I'm trying to think of something. That explains why I'll see things, like I daydream and I'll see visions, or I'm walking and I'll see stuff. So yeah, it oftentimes you have to find it, or it finds you. I should say that. And don't you good timeless values, honey. You fine. You not late because, like I said, I'm a good 20 minutes. You fine, baby. You are okay. Um, yeah. And you want to know if your mentor is she's ever gonna fully open up. She is, but I would say give it time, baby. Give it time because you're in such a rush. But you know what that is? That's because you're used to doing all the work. That's because you're the one. Like when you want something, you want it. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that, honey. But sometimes you gotta let you gotta let people. You, it's okay to let somebody else take the lead. It's like a dance. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean they don't have rhythm or they can't dance, but you gotta allow them to lead. You know what I mean? Allow them to dance with you because you can't force them to do it. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, but they will open up a lot of the things that you're asking. You're gonna start to see as we go into the new year. So just be prepared, okay, and be ready, and more importantly, be open to the way they show how they care about you, okay? Because you have a tendency that if they, well, you ain't showing me the way I want to be shown, so I don't want it. That's not the way it works, baby. That's why we have love languages, okay? You can't do that. If their way of showing that they love you is putting gas in your car, let them put gas in your car. If their way of showing you that they love you is cooking you a meal, let them cook you a meal. Now, mind you, they can't cook. Then you go in the kitchen and be like, listen, baby, thank you, but your grits a little runny. But hey. But if their way of loving you is just spending time with you, it doesn't even have to be much. It can just be us watching TV and we're eating popcorn and just enjoying this thing called life. Let them do that. One of the things about us as humans that, and even I'm guilty of it too, is that we often think, well, you ain't loving me in the way I want to be loved. No, sweetheart, let them love you in the way that they know how. Okay. And then in time, show them, like, okay, I love that you love me like this, but also here's what I also enjoy too, and vice versa. Because you have to, the one thing about it that a lot of us, and like I said, I'm guilty of it too, because I'm human, is that we tend to overcomplicate things when it can really be simple. We tend to make it so overcomplicated, and it's not. Baby, listen, okay? And oftentimes we want our way. That's not the way life works. And relationships are work. Even friendships are work. Because you can't tell me if you look at a 30, 20, 10-year friendship that they haven't had disagreements. They haven't had moments where it's like you hurt me. Yeah, but you know what? We're gonna work on it. We're gonna work through it, and we're gonna make this. If we really want our friendship to work, we can sit down like adults and say, you know what? That really hurt my feelings. I know you were trying to help, but that really hurt my feelings. Can you not do that next time? You see what I mean? So it's just everything is work, but you got to be willing to do the work. And a lot of us, unfortunately, we're not willing to do the work. We want the work already done. That's not how life works. That's not the way it is. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's not. And Tyler's values, thank you so much for coming. You say that you're very spiritually inclined, you just doubt it. But you know what? But let's be honest, we all do. Even myself, even though this is my career, this is what I do for a living, right? I doubt myself all the time. And I always tell people the best you can go to listen, you can go to readers until you turn blue in the face. But your own intuition is never, ever wrong. Okay. But yes, you're going to doubt yourself. That's normal. Like it happens. But I think the key is just to listen as best you can. Yes, that's exactly it, baby. You got it, baby. You won the prize. You got it. That's right, no dough. No duh. That's right. Let the universe do its thing and let them love you the way they know how. That's it. That's exactly it. And the same goes for you too, because you have to understand there may be a love language that you may have a love language that they're not familiar with. You know what I mean? So you have to love on them the way you know how. And together you work at it. It's not going to be easy all the time, and it may not always be fun, but that's what you do. That's what you do, baby. So yes, that's exactly it. You got it. Yes. Give her a round of applause, people. Give them a round of applause. Give No Duh a round of applause. Yes, tens across the board. Good for you. You got it. But yeah, but we as humans, because we're so complex and we're so, you know, uh, we're so, what's the word? Uh, I can't even think of the word to use, but we're so complex sometimes that you know, we don't allow things to take shape. Like I said, I'm guilty of it too. I really am. Because I could tell you stories where I have forced things and tried to make it happen. And, oh, that's my husband. That's my man. That's this, that's that. That man don't want you like that. Baby, that man just wants to hit it and quit it. And that's okay. And especially the man told you that. But don't have to force him that's not there. And believe me, I've done it. So just saying. Okay, so does texting my mentor so much annoy them? Um, oh, I love this. Okay, hold on for just one second. Let me answer this question. Does texting my mentor so much annoy them? Like leaving an update every few weeks, even when they don't answer. Um, I get yes and no. And the reason why I get yes and no is that leaving them an update is not a bad thing. But I think if you do it continuously, that can be a bit. And it's not necessarily like you're annoying them, like, oh God, hugging. It's not like that. It's more of like a, okay, you know what it is? What I'm seeing in my head is like they have so much going on that when you text them, it overwhelms them. It's like sensory overload. That's the best way I would describe it. Yeah, that's what it is. So I get, like I said, I get a mix. I get a mix of like yes and no. Um, yeah, and I came in child. I came on here fresh face, no makeup today, child. I was gonna beat my face, but I didn't have time. Anyway, all right. It says so timeless values. This may sound funny, but I'm really curious. I'm gay. I am gay. Um, like is my person same gender? I'm really in my head lately about this. Well, first of all, timeless values, it doesn't sound funny at all because, as someone who is, someone who's really, 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 really gay, and happy National Coming Out Day to all of those who may be of GLBT descent on this channel. I get it because I went through that too when I was very young. I went through that like, well, am I ever gonna meet somebody like me? Um, believe it or not, I would not be surprised. What I'm hearing in my head for you, Timeless, is somebody that maybe I'm getting two things. I'm getting a man in my head, like male energy, but I also get non-binary or non-conforming. So someone that they may be a man, but they don't necessarily they don't conform to you know, what we think of when it comes to gender. So what I'm picking up is somebody that may be non-binary. So yeah, you are going to meet somebody, and I feel like you're going to meet them. I want to say in the springtime for you because I get the number 4, either the spring or you're going to meet them in the summer because I get the numbers 4 and 8. Yeah, but yeah, and whomever they are, they're right up your alley too because they're kind of. This may sound kind of funny, but they're kind of gothic. And I shouldn't say gothic. It's not gothic. They're anime. They love anime, like Japanese anime or like K-pop or something like that. So they're really into that. You're gonna really like them. They're adorable because I see them with what's the word? With like those big like pants that flare out like jeans. It's cute. Will my mentor be a big part of my future? Girl, you and your mentor child, this is a whole soap opera. Just saying. I mean, love you. But just saying. Um Actually, yes, they will be a big part of your future. They will be. They're gonna be very much that. Now, here's where the whole parental thing comes in. They definitely will be that guide in the sense of I don't like even if you choose not to date them, right? I want you to be happy, that kind of thing. Yes, she does, honey. She takes up space in your mind for real, for real. You must listen. Miss Whitney must have some macaroni in the pot, okay? Like, girl, she's giving you fever. But I understand it because you know why? We all want someone that validates us. We all want someone that makes us feel desirable. We all want someone that makes us feel needed, wanted. We all, you know what I mean? We all want that. I think that's normal. I mean, hell, girl, listen, I'm the biggest romantic. I love love like it's going out of style. For me, love is like water. If in my opinion, without water is life. You know what I mean? Water is, and that's how I view love. Love is life to me. So it's, I get it, and oftentimes I'll be the first one to tell you, I project my stuff on the people and be like, but don't you want to be in love? Don't you want romance? Don't you want, don't you want to, don't you want to be held? We we all have it. So I think it's okay to want what you want. Um, and you said she's older than you. You wish that she was your mom. But oh, that's sweet. That's okay. See, now it makes sense. But it's understandable because she represents to you the kind of woman that you not only desire as a mate, but you desire in terms of someone who's present, someone who's available. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. But I do feel like she's going to be that for you. So that's why I'm saying give this time. I keep getting the month of January, but give it time, sweet pea. It's okay, and believe me, honey, I went through that because when I was, 20 in my 20s, honey, I was all about, the older men, honey. Hell, I still am about the older men. Uh, you know what I mean? I was into men that were 30 and 40 and 50 and even 60 because I equated being with an older man as, oh, thank you. Thank you, Ayana. Thank you so much. I hope I'm saying your name right. Is it Ayana? I hope I'm saying it right. Thank you so much for that. But I understand that because I've gone through that myself, and I know what it is to not have a present or to feel like even though I have a parent, they're not present. You know what I mean? I can't show my vulnerability. I can't open up to them. So I know that it is. So what do? You go out and you find it through somebody else. We all do it. Oh, good. I'm glad I said it right. So it makes a lot of sense um, that she takes up the space in your mind like she does, and that's okay. So don't feel bad about that, baby. We listen. Life is much too short. You have to find your happiness wherever you can find it, and sometimes it may not come in the way that you want it to be. Oh, okay, okay. So you're 17. Okay. All right, baby. All right. Well, you got some maturing to do. You got some learning to do, baby. And it's okay. Like I said, I was your age once. I've been down that road. You got some learning to do. You got some maturing to do. And it's okay. But for right now, let her be your mentor. Let her be your friend. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be and tell a 17-year-old to willingly chase after somebody that's older than them. Okay, I want you to allow if it is meant to be, allow that to happen, but allow yourself to grow. Okay, because you got to think about yourself, baby. This is your life. You are a young person. I don't want you out here chasing. You know what I mean? I don't want you out here thinking that you got to grow up so quick. You don't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm, baby. Don't do that. All right. Um, I know, baby. I'm just being real with you. Okay, just being honest. I know that, baby. I know. Um, so in Dream Legacy says, I desire platonic friendly intimacy, not so much other kind. But I mean, but intimacy is intimacy, even if it is just with friends. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think whatever you desire, you can have. And I think there's nothing wrong with having a friend. There's nothing wrong with having someone that you can show and share your vulnerability with. And one thing that I'm learning, and I don't know if she's still in here, but this is one thing that my friend Jenderi taught me is that intimacy is not just crying and tears, and that's part of it. But ultimately, intimacy is opening up and being honest and being forthright, not only with the person that allows you to do that with no judgment, but also when you allow yourself to do that with no judgment. So, all right, honey. Okay. All right. I am loving this. I'm really enjoying y'all today. This has been fun. Y'all have been really cool. So thank you so very much for all of this. We've got a couple more minutes left. Um, no, you're not weird. I don't think you're weird at all, Dream. I don't think you're weird at all. Let's eliminate that from our vocabulary. I don't think you're weird. I think you just want a intimacy that I think is not as, and unfortunately, not saying that hookups are bad because they're not. But I think the way they've been treated, right? We treat them as so disposable because they're so quick. You know what I mean? They like they're, and I shouldn't say quick. They're so accessible. That's what it is. So for a lot of us who've gotten tired of that accessibility, what happens is that it's like, well, fine, I just want friends. You know what I mean? It's something you don't desire sex. You probably desire sex, but you just want it from a different place. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're not weird at all. I don't think. Because sometimes I'll be the first one to tell you, sometimes I just desire to be touched, to be caressed, to be told that I'm, even though I know this, but to be reminded that I'm beautiful and that I'm desirable and that I, you know, there's nothing wrong with sensuality. That's what I'm saying, you know. And sometimes that's what you want. It's not always, slam bamming. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you want to be reminded that who you are is good. You know what I mean? We all want that, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with hooking up either. But as long as you know what it is, and you go into it with your eyes wide open and not wide shut, and often that's where I think a lot of us make our mistakes. We'll go into it thinking, well, if I put this on them, macaroni in a pot, if I do this, then they'll no. If they told you under no uncertain terms, listen, all I want to do is hit it and quit it. I just want to have fun. I'm not looking for anything serious. People will tell you exactly what you need to know within the first 5 minutes. But then it's up to you to think, well, do I want to deal with that or not? You know? And like I said, I've been guilty of it too, child. You know, a man tell me, "Oh, I just want to have fun." I'm like, "But don't you want to be in love? Don't you want to be in love? don't you want to be, don't you want to have, intimacy?" And they're like, "No, I don't. I want to have sex." You know what I mean? And there is a difference between sex, lovemaking, and intimacy. There's a big difference between the two. And a lot of us, unfortunately, don't know the difference. But that's because, unfortunately, that's what hookup culture has, I think, kind of ruined it a little bit. Because we often equate sex with intimacy, and it's not. Because sex can be different things too. Sex can be a means of procreation. Sex can be a means of release. Sex can be a lot of that. So, well, I mean, but honey, listen, that's what mentors do. Mentors are meant to do that. They're meant to slap you on your wrist and tell you no. Right? Intimacy varies. Uh, and I think a lot of us, unfortunately, have that kind of, not confused, but we have it just misconstrued. And it's not our fault. A lot of it has been because, let's be honest. Um, Thank you. Let's be honest. A lot of us don't want to say what we desire because we don't want to be rejected. Like we don't. We don't want to say, listen, I want sensuality. I want to be touched. I want foreplay. I want someone to look at me. You know what I mean? To like see me from a different angle, not just from an object. You know. Well, I mean, listen, if you did, but listen here though, if you did something silly, maybe you deserve that slap. Think about what you did. You can't put it all on her. Just say it. But you know what I mean. But I think a lot of us don't. We feel rejection, and it's like you shouldn't. if they reject you because you want what you want, then obviously they're not for you. They're really not, in my opinion. And move on to someone that will be able to give you what you want. Um, wow, how did I get so comfortable? It's taken me a lot, believe it or not, to be honest, to be real on here. I'm kind of on I won't say I'm not a like, well, I am kind of on a no sex thing right now. Like, I'm not really entertaining people. And it's because I know I don't want to deal with the hoops that a lot of people tend to make you jump through. But I also know I've got a lot of work to do within me because I often say, and I do have a therapist, and I recommend if you can get one. Therapy is wonderful. But I often say, how can I help heal people if I don't heal myself? How can I do that? So, one of the reasons why I'm not dating casually or seriously is because I know I have some work to do. But I also know when I do choose to get back out there, right? And I choose to get back on the apps or whatever, like Tinder. It don't social media, social media. It don't matter where you meet them from. But I will be clear and concise with what I want. You know what I'm saying? And be like, listen, here's what I desire from you. If you cannot give this to me, or you're not capable, or you don't want to, move on to somebody that wants that. Because oftentimes we fall into that, well, I want somebody to, just to be here. And then we wonder why we get the fish at the top at the top of the ocean instead of the ones at the bottom. Because we just take the scraps. Because we often think, well, something is better than nothing. But sometimes you got to be alone. You have to learn to be alone. You have to learn to be with yourself and say, you know what? If I got to get to know me, you know what I mean? So that way I can get the kind of person I want that not only will desire me physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we can grow. There's a companionship, not a dependency. Because the one thing I'm learning is I'm not looking for love, okay? Because I love myself. I'm looking more so for someone that I can grow with. And in turn, we love each other. But I'm not looking for a man to love me in the form of completion. I complete myself. Okay. Even when my crown is not even on my head, So, and it takes a long time to get to this place. And I'm still learning to step into it, to be honest. But it's what you have to do. So, and that really does mean being by yourself. And alone doesn't always mean lonely. We often think that. We think, oh, I'm single. I'm single. You better be glad you're single because that means you're free. That means thank you. That means you're free. That means you're able to do what you want to do. And like I said, I have to remind myself that I'm not looking for love. The love I have is in here. My completion is within me. I have to remind myself of that a lot. Like, believe me, honey, I may look good, but I need help. Help. I may be dressed like a Power Ranger in this bitch, but I need help too. But that's okay. Because even in that saying, like, you know what? I may not always have it all, but you're not supposed to. There's no such thing. So, yeah. But yeah, it takes time, Dream. It really does, to answer your question. It takes a lot of time and a lot of stops and starts. And there are days where you don't want to get out of bed. There are days that I've had my moments where I don't want to be here. I've had them. I've had quite a few actually, and I will talk about that when I'm ready. But yeah, I mean, but my goal, but I always say, if I can't heal myself and work and play with my own demons, then how can I help other people? I can't. And I never want to be that kind of person where I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm giving you advice, but my life is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like Mm-mm. And believe me, right now, my life is it's not bad, but it could be better, but it also could be a lot worse. So all in all, my life is pretty good. But thank you. Yeah, I love myself. I do. And I can honestly say that. Even in my darkest moments, I love myself enough to know what I will and will not put up with. And I don't want to put up with someone that makes me question them, that makes me question if I can trust them, that disrupts my peace. I don't want that. Because if that's the case, I can do that on my own. I don't need another person for that. I can disrupt my own peace by myself. So just saying. Um, but thank you guys so much for listening. We are now done. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I really enjoyed being with all of you tonight. And I definitely will come back. I don't know. It won't be next week, but it may be the week after. I may come back. So just, be on the lookout. And if you really would like a reading outside of this, you can go to my website. I'm going to put my website in the comments. So, 1 second. One moment. I'm going to put my website in the comments so that way you can go and you can get a reading outside of this medium for me. If you don't want to, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. But if you want to get a reading outside of this medium, you're more than welcome to go to my website. You can follow me on various social media platforms, which are all down the bottom in the description below. If you missed it, don't worry, you will get to see it. I will be putting this on my channel. Thank you so much thank you guys for coming because, honey, at first I thought I was just talking to myself. So thank you guys so much for coming. And for your questions and your comments, it means a lot. Stay tuned because I will be doing my second perspective on Nicki Minaj, um, and my card of the day. So stay tuned for those. And I thank you guys so much for just joining me. Oh, thank you. I try. Thank you so much. I really do. I, like I said, I'm human. At the end of the day, honey, I'm just me. I can't be anything but that. So thank you so much. And yeah, hey, that's all I can say. So thank you so very much. I enjoyed talking to y'all, cutting up with y'all, kicking. It was really a lot of fun. Um, don't worry, I will be back. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna come. I think I'm gonna come back not next week, but the week after next. So I may come back because I have to go out of town. Wait, I think in the next like 2 weeks. So, but anyway, but I will be back very soon. But until then, my sugar bears, from me and Mr. Buddy. This is Buddy. This is our official sugar bear mascot. Okay. So from me and Buddy, I want to say to you, be teachable, be learnable, love yourself, and most of all, be you. Have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.